Unitasker, free gift. Woo, 99 cents. There we go. Ooh, hey, would you look at this? It's my old fishing rod. You know, when I was a kid, I'd keep this baby out in the carport so that when I got home from school, I could just dump the books and stuff and sneak off to the fishing hole, unbeknownst to my mom. I'd dig up a few worms along the way, plop down on the bank, and in a couple of hours, I'd have myself a few juicy catfish. Hey! Well, that's just the way it used to happen. I would come home from school, I'd have chores to do, I'd pick up this silly rod, and boom, there I'd be at the fishing hole with a catfish on the line. I was supposed to be, you know, at work, and, well, I wonder if, well, what the heck? Hey, hey, I think I got one. It sure is. A Taurus puntatus. Channel catfish. Good size for eating, too. Of course, when I was a kid, there were only really 3 words to describe the cooking of a catfish: deep, fat, and fried. But as I've matured, done a little traveling, I've learned that the humble catfish of my youth is a culinary sophisticate who, with but subtle coaxing from the cook, can be converted to a global buffet of... The catfish is a unique critter compared to other freshwater fish. I mean, for one thing, they've got whiskers, barbels, technically speaking, that function not only as feelers, but as antennae, tuning in various signals from their surrounding environment. Take a look at the skin. Notice no scales, just a nice, smooth, slick kind of slime. That ooze protects thousands of taste buds. That's right, this catfish is tasting my hand right now. The skin is also interesting because catfish drink through it. Yes, you do. They drink through it. All right, here you go, little guy. There you go. Off you go. Oh, don't worry, I'll catch another. I'm an excellent fisherman. All right, here we go. Where was I? Oh, yeah, because of that whole drinking through their skin thing, catfish have long been persecuted as tasting muddy because the small-town, roadside, backwoods fish camps that once dotted the southern landscape served wild fish pulled out of muddy little holes in the ground. And, whoop, whoop, I got another one. Would you look at that? How long did that take? Like 30 seconds? No wonder the kids used to call me Catfish Brown. Okay, so the deck was stacked a little in my favor, but truth be told, catfish aquaculture is that rare case when good economics, good ecology, and good eats all align. I wonder if they'll make me pay for this. American farm-raised catfish are considered sustainable for a host of reasons. For one, they grow in scientifically controlled ponds on scientifically designed feed, which they convert at a very respectable 1.8 to 1. That means it only takes 1.8 pounds of feed to grow a pound of fish. And unlike, say, salmon or tuna that require a lot of open water to thrive, catfish dig pond living, which means they don't have to be loaded up on a bunch of meds just to make it to market weight. Best of all, farmed catfish are sweet, firm, and versatile. A lot like, well, chicken. In fact, I think we ought to call them chicken of the pond. A lot like chicken, if you throw out a little chow, these catfish will come a-running. Now notice, they feed on the surface. That is a skill they're actually taught when they're still small fry. Now when channel cats reach 1 to 1.5 pounds in weight, they are ready for harvest. After being round up in a pen, the fish are simply scooped up 1,000 pounds at a time and moved into what's called a live haul truck, which functions as a kind of big rolling aquarium, which takes them directly to the processing plant. Now, it should be noted that these relatives of the blue and bullhead catfish are far, far tastier than anything I ever pulled out of a creek when I was a kid. In fact, if I'd caught one like this, it would still be hanging on my wall. When most of us go fishing these days, it is in the seafood department of our local megamart, or if we're lucky, in an actual fishmonger shop. Farmed catfish come in many, many market forms, including whole, with the skin on, heads and guts gone, of course, whole skin off, and then the fillets, 3 to 5 ounces, 5 to 7 ounces, 7 to 9 ounces, and 9 to 11 ounces. Although I have to say the 7 to 9 are the most commonly available and the ones that I will be using today. Now, I should point out that while I have absolutely nothing against purchasing IQF or individual quick frozen catfish in the water-glazed, flash-frozen state, I do not like buying thawed fish, okay? Above all, when it comes to farmed catfish, you want to see USA on the country of origin sticker, because catfish imported from Asia, one, they're not the same fish, and two, can be raised in ways that would raise the hair on the back of your neck. Shop American, eat American. End of lecture. Now that we have 2 delicious, sustainable catfish fillets on hand, let us consider our many culinary options. What? What does that say? Oh, why would you instantly assume that we should fry that catfish? I mean, I know, it's a Southern standard, but I tell you what, you want South? I'm gonna give you South. Beautiful South America, that is. You know, in places like Peru and Ecuador and, well, all around these places, white firm fish isn't cooked at all. It's marinated with herbs and chilies and citrus juice and then served, sometimes mixed with other bits of vegetation, in a dish called ceviche or ceviche, depending on where you are and who you ask. The key is that the fish that is served is technically raw, and therefore the freshest, highest quality fish should be used. Now, in the upper part of the Western Hemisphere, there is no better candidate than farm-raised catfish, which is as squeaky clean, sweet, and firm as you can get. And if you're afraid of cooking fish, this is the perfect application for you because it isn't cooked at all. It's pickled. So grab your sharpest, thinnest knife, don a glove if you like, and cut your 1 pound of catfish fillets into half-inch strips. Then stack them together and cross-cut into cubes. We want nice, even half-inch cubes here, so take your time. Grab a zip-top bag, place the fish inside, and then turn your attention to the citrus. 3 limes, 1 large red grapefruit. We're going to need 1 teaspoon of zest from each, no pith please, and 1/3 of a cup of juice from the lime and 1/2 a cup from the grapefruit. And you're going to probably want to filter that grapefruit juice as it can be pretty pulpy. The zest goes into the fish, as do both the juices. Now, odds are you're going to have some grapefruit juice left over. Waste not, want not. Vitamins. Seal the bag, place in drip-proof containment, and marinate in the fridge from 4 to 8 hours, with 6 being dead on perfect. And you might want to reach in a couple of times during that and turn the bag to, you know, ensure even coverage. Now, what's going on here is that the acids from the citrus juice will denature or chemically unfurl some of the fish proteins, firming the meat and turning it opaque. Now, I should tell you, you know, my attorneys, what is this? Well, they want me to remind you that although many chefs refer to ceviche as being cooked by the acids, that is in fact not the case. And although most of the surface bacteria should be killed by the acidity, there is no way to ensure the absolute safety of the dish. Although I've had it about 1,000 times with no ill effects. Excuse me, guys, excuse me. Thank you very much. While the fish marinades, we turn to the salad. Seed and mince 1 jalapeno chili, finely dice 1 small red onion, seed and dice 1 medium tomato, thinly slice 4 cloves of garlic, chop tablespoons worth of cilantro leaves and fresh oregano, and finally peel, pit, and dice 1 ripe avocado. These you will combine in a large mixing bowl, along with 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, 1/2 teaspoon of toasted and ground cumin, 1/2 teaspoon of turbinado sugar, and of course, 1½ teaspoons of kosher salt. Toss to combine. Very nice. Now, when it's time to retrieve the fish, go ahead and drain it and save the marinade. We'll be using that later. Put the fish right on top of the salad and simply toss to coat. Now, these flavors are going to need to have a little bit of time to get to know each other, so back into the refrigerator for 30 minutes before serving. Of course, when it comes to serving, you've got options aplenty. There. Now, ceviche makes an excellent dip for chips, just like salsa, or you can simply serve it in a margarita glass as a salad or a light lunch. Now, if you want to respect the Ecuadorian tradition, you will garnish liberally with corn nuts, of all things. Oh, and as for the drained marinade, that is referred to as leche de tigre, or tiger's milk. And in many parts of South America, it is considered the cure for a hangover. So, what do you think? What? Oh, no, not going to happen. Out of the question. Having witnessed how American catfish fare in one application from the deep south, perhaps we should try another, this time from southeast, way southeast, as in Southeast Asia, right about here. You can walk into just about any restaurant or home, for that matter, in Thailand and order up a cup of tom kha platak, or catfish coconut soup. Now, why would this be such a popular dish? Well, for one thing, it tastes really fantastic. For another, you should see the size of the catfish they've got over there. They're just... Who in the world could that be? Hello?
Plumber.
We didn't call for one.
Candygram.
No, I gave up the stuff.
Nobel Prize Committee.
Well, it's about time. Don't worry, folks. Don't worry. That was, of course, just a dramatization, although those proportions were correct. Luckily, you don't have to land a monster catfish to make tom kha platak, but you will have to land a few ingredients from the international aisle of your local megamart. Most of the software for this soup, easy to find stuff. You need a couple of limes, all right, some cilantro, an habanero chili. You could use a Thai bird chili if they're in season, and a stalk of lemongrass, which most megamarts have these days. Now, tom kha platak, the tom means boil, platak, catfish. Kha refers to galangal. It's also called blue ginger, okay, after its more common cousin. Now, I strongly suggest you seek this stuff out. If you can't find it, go ahead and use regular ginger, but I really like this stuff. You're also going to need 2 cups of fish stock. Now, if you watched our Japanese pantry show, you know that you can cook together some dashi from kombu and bonita flakes, or you could simply keep instant dashi on hand. Pretty handy stuff, okay? You're also going to need a 14-ounce can of coconut milk and a 1/4 cup of fish sauce. Now, think of that as kind of, I don't know, Asian Worcester sauce, only a whole lot funkier. All right, soup's on. My favorite thing about Asian soups, besides the way they taste, is that they typically only require 1 pan and little, if any, preliminary cooking. So, 2 cups of your dashi, or fish stock, will come to a simmer in a large 4-quart saucepan over medium to medium-high heat. Now, we are going to need 2 tablespoons of thinly sliced lemongrass, and you don't want it from the top end because it's very woody. We're going to take it only from about the bottom third. You're just going to need to use a very sharp knife and just saw back and forth. It's like cutting a culinary Lincoln log, but believe me, it's worth it. As for the galangal, or blue ginger, it's pretty tough to harvest as well, certainly more so than ginger. So break it down into individual fingers, or it's almost like links of sausage. Then take scissors and clip off the shoots, which are very, very papery, and just kind of trim it up. And I usually use a peeler to get off the skin. It's not like regular ginger where you can just use a spoon. As you can see, there's a lot more fiber involved here. There. Now just use the same knife as you used on the lemongrass and knock that down into a matchstick size. Not quite julienne. In fact, you'll need enough to fit in a matchbox. It's a good way of measuring it. All right, that's boiling a little hard, so I'll reduce the heat a bit, and the blue ginger goes in along with the lemongrass. And don't think I forgot that habanero. I just figured you knew how to chop that up. Also, 1 tablespoon of cilantro leaves, freshly picked, and a 1/4 cup each of the fish sauce and lime juice. We're going to let that, come back to a simmer. It'll take about 45 seconds. Then we add the coconut milk. That's 14 ounces. And the fish. Catfish fillets, 1 pound, cut into 1-inch chunks, please. And just let that return to a simmer. Do not boil it. Because of its particular and, quite honest, primitive musculature, the catfish cubes will not fall apart the way a flakier fish might. Continue cooking for 4 to 5 minutes or until the fish is barely cooked through. Barely cooked through will look a lot like this. Barely opaque, nice and firm, not overcooked. The heat of the chili doesn't overwhelm the sweetness of the catfish, and the coconut actually brings out the fish's nuttier attributes. Now, doesn't this beat the banjos out of silly old fried catfish? Look, I simply cannot bring myself to pander to such grotesque Southern stereotypes, okay? However, I do know somebody who specializes in just this sort of thing. How to do, children? Don't you worry one bit. Your colonel knows exactly what to do with an old river cat. I'm gonna fry that thing up right now. Come on. Now, children, I know, regardless of what that know-it-all nephew of mine says, the only way to eat catfish, you gotta fry it up in a little black pot like we got right here with some peanut oil. I got about a quart of that stuff in there. We're gonna get that hot, like 300, well, I can't quite see that, but we don't want it so hot that it's smoking. Smoking's bad for you. Let's go your pig. That's another thing. So we leave that alone for right now. Come on over here and look at these here catfish. Woo! We got 6 fillets over here, and they look mighty juicy. We're going to season them up now. This is the scientific part. Pay attention. Come on over here close. I got me a bowl. I'm going to put some Old Bay seasoning, teaspoon of that in here. Now, it's Yankee. I'll grant you that. It's Yankee as the day is long, but I think they got a little South Carolina in the woodpile, if you know what I'm talking about. I know you do. Here we go. We're going to put some salt. Gotta have some salt. We'll do a ½ teaspoon of that kosher salt and a sniffing worth a bit of hot smoky paprika and some pepper. That's about a ¼ teaspoon of each, I reckon. We mix that up there with that old fork. There you go. Whew, I can smell that. It's going to be some kind of delicious. We're just going to sprinkle that. Papa going to make it rain all over that catfish. There we go. Just be liberal with it now. I'm especially good at this because I got me a liberal arts degree. I kill me sometimes, I do. All right, we're going to get that all over that fish. There we go. There you go. Everybody getting all smothered up good like. Now, we're going to need to flip all them over. Watch this. I got to do some hocus pocus. You just stay there a second. I'll be right back. Ooh, I'm just going to get up here and get this pan right here. And, oh, I see you. You think you're hiding. You're not. No, sir. Okay, here I come in. Watch this now. Are you watching me now? Watch closely now how I do this now. We're going to put this right over here like this. There we go. And just, oh, there goes my cane. Flip it over. Ah, there you go. Look at that, how easy that is. Now, hold on a second. I got to get my orthopedic support device from here. Okay. All right, I'm all good. I'm okay. Here we go. You're going to stay paying on this tension here. All right, now here we go. We get all that seasoning on there. That's going to be some kind of good. Whew. I may just faint. There we go. All right, now looky here. I got me an assembly line all set up here. So we're going to take this fish. I'm going to put it in the buttermilk. I got about 6 ounces of that buttermilk there. Just a little swim she going to take. And let it drip and drain now. Don't get impatient. Wait on it. Wait on it. Okay, there we go. You waited. That's good. And that's going into our dredge. And this is a special concoction. I got right in here a cup each of some regular all-purpose flour and some fine cornmeal. I don't mean fine like she's fried. I mean fine like it grained up, a little small like in the mill. There we go. And you just want to kind of dust all that off of there. I kind of give it a wiggle. That's my wiggle. That's my trademark. We put that over here on this rack. That needs to sit there about 5 minutes now before it goes into the pan. If you don't do that, all the crust is going to fall right off when it's hitting that oil, and it'll be a dark day in Dixie, wherever it is you stay. Now, I'm going to finish this up over here. Just take me a minute. Whew. All right, now our fish is standing by, and our goober oil is 350 degrees. So we're just going to slip some of these beauties in 2 at a time. I call this cooking with Noah. Cooking with Noah. So you can see he had an ark and oh, never mind. Now, I know you could pan fry your catfish, but I say deep fat fries are the only way to go. Besides, ordinarily, we'd be sneaking in some hush puppies as well, but that's another show. Now, we're going to let these cook 5-6 minutes till they're golden brown and some other kind of delicious. All right, I'm going to use one of these here spider things that they talking about all the time to get that out. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Oh, my good googly moogie. That's like some kind of deep-fried piece of heavenly paradise. Look at that golden brown and deliciousness. Here comes another one now. Here it comes. All right, now you just let that sit for a few minutes because it's going to be too hot to eat, I reckon. There you go now. There's some ketchup and some tartar sauce if you want it. Well, thanks, Uncle Bob. I have to admit, this looks righteous. Frying's the only way to eat an old river cat, I can tell you that. And by the way, I'm not your uncle. I'm actually your third cousin, once removed on your mother's half-sister side. Really? Mm-hmm. Now, dig in now. Don't let your fish get cold. You know, down south, we may be discombobulated on a few points here and there, but when it comes to catfish, well, we know good eats when we see it. Y'all come back now.